I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started with the no half step in hockey coverage, first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you learn everything you need to know about the show and what you can educate about. The show, you can click on that merchandise tab. Take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you've come to know and love and expect from Renegades of Puck are all still available in our online store, whether that is socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets. Makes no difference to the Renegades of Puck. Something like 88 different items in our online store. The best way to say it is that we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this independent hockey operation, so here's how you can jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. You can find us on X and Threads. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, and also TikTok. So please, whatever social media platform it is that you prefer, give us a follow on that particular location. It doesn't take you about a second, doesn't cost you a single thing, but it sure goes a long way to helping this independent hockey operation. YouTube, that is what we are pushing the hardest right now, and we sure would appreciate if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Renegades of Puck on YouTube and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We sure to appreciate everyone who has joined us recently in the trenches right there on YouTube, and we are looking to bolster those ranks. There's no such thing as a podcast without a video component in this day and age, so we need to make sure that that part of things is as good as it can get. So again, help us bolster the ranks there on our YouTube channel. Venmo, that's how you can help support the show financially. You can make a donation by going to Venmo and searching Renegades of Puck, or just scanning the QR code that is currently on your screen. Every dollar goes a long way to helping this independent hockey operation, so if you can spare a dollar, we sure could use it over here in the bunker. Every penny goes directly to helping the Renegades of Puck. So again, if you'd like to make a donation to the show to help us keep moving forward in the new direction and the next season, we sure would love to have that support. Again, scan the QR code and sunscreen and support your local Renegade today. Now listen, I know it's time for the no half step in hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It is time for operation number 907. That is right, it is time for show number 907. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in a best-of-5 series versus the Vancouver Canucks. I call it a best-of-5 series because after the first two games of the best-of-7 series, this series is tied up at one game apiece. Let's go back. Game 1, it was a 4-2 victory for the Vancouver Canucks in Vancouver. It was Joshua getting the game-winning goal for the Canucks in that game. In Game 2, the Nashville Predators earned the split with a 4-1 victory, tying the series at one apiece. The game-winning goal goes to Philip Forsberg. Much more conversation and analysis coming up on that here momentarily. Game 3, which is what we are now previewing, takes place Friday here in Nashville at Bridgestone Arena. A Friday evening, downtown Nashville. Great weather expected. It is going to be a heck of a party. It always is when the Nashville Predators are in the playoffs. A great atmosphere, and very much looking forward to being a part of all of that. So Game 3 takes place on Friday. Game 4 takes place on Sunday at Bridgestone Arena. Game 5, which is now necessary, will return to Vancouver on April the 30th. Game 6, still noted as if necessary, will take place on May the 3rd and back at Bridgestone Arena. And Game 7, if necessary, would be on May the 5th in Vancouver again. When it comes to the series to this point, the shots on goal through two games, 39 for Vancouver, 38 for the Nashville Predators. Blocked shots, 44 for the Nashville Predators and 19 for the Vancouver Canucks. That 44 blocked shots really gets the big uptick after Game 2 when they put up 30 blocked shots in that game. In the physical component of things, it is the Vancouver Canucks just laying the lumber to the Predators on all 200 feet of the rink for 88 hits through two games. The Predators have 65 hits, also playing quite physical, but just not quite to the level of the Vancouver Canucks at this point in time. Face-off winning percentage in Game 2 for the Nashville Predators, 42%. They actually dropped down a little bit from Game 1, even though they secured the victories. The Vancouver Canucks had a face-off winning percentage of 58% in Game 2. When it comes to the power play through two games, the Predators' power play is 1-for-8 and underperforming considerably, but the Vancouver Canucks have much higher expectations for their power play than the Predators do, and theirs is 0-for for 6 so far in the playoffs. That makes the penalty kill units look really good. The Preds are 6 for 6 on the PK, and the Vancouver Canucks are 7 for 8 so far in the series. Takeaways, the Predators are at 10 for the series, and the Vancouver Canucks are at 6, and giveaways, the Predators are at 9, Vancouver is at 10. Your stats leaders for each of these teams through 2 games in the series. Philip Forsberg leads the Nashville Predators in scoring with a goal and 2 assists for 3 total points. Beauvillier has a goal and an assist for 2 points. Zucker has a goal and an assist for 2 points. Nyquist, no goals, 2 assists for 2 total points. And Sherwood picked up a goal in this most recent game. And no assists to go with that equals 1 point. Over on the other side of things, the Vancouver Canucks, Joshua continues to lead the team in scoring as he did after Game 1, now after Game 2. 2 goals, 1 assist for 3 total points. Zadarov's at 1 goal and 1 assist for 2 points. Hughes at no goals, 2 assists for 2 total points. Suter has a goal. Lindholm has a goal. Several others with 1 point on the Vancouver Canucks. In goal, Thatcher Demko is now ruled as week to week, so we anticipate he will be missing the remainder of the series, but especially Game 3, unless something very, very dramatic changes. So Casey DeSmith will get the start for the Vancouver Canucks. He is 0-1 in the series after starting Game 2 and taking the loss, giving up 3 goals against, save percentage of .812 out of 15. Fairly light workload, but also did give up 3 goals, took the loss. Or on the other side of things, UC Saros is 1-1 in the series. He's given up 4 goals against in the 2 games. 34 out of 38 is his stat line with an .895 save percentage, 2.01 goals against average. So the Nashville Predators coming back home. They have taken home ice advantage away from the Vancouver Canucks. What will they do with that now at Bridgestone Arena? The Predators were in this exact situation the last time these two teams faced off in a first-round series in a best-of-7, and the Predators did not handle their home ice responsibilities very well. Will Fort Bridgestone return to the impenetrable fortress that it once was come playoff time, or will the Vancouver Canucks come in and pull the rug out from under the Predators yet again in a playoff run on the home rink here at Bridgestone Arena? The Preds have it laid out in front of them. They have home ice advantage now. It's a best-of-5 moving forward. It is the second best scenario and outcome that could have happened after the first 2 games in Vancouver. The Predators could have led 2-0, but that was highly unlikely. Getting the split at 1-1 was probably the best-case scenario. Take care of your home ice, and you will be able to take care of the Vancouver Canucks. That's going to do it for getting you all set up for Game 3. We've got to go back and talk about Game 2, what happened. The Nashville Predators evening up the series, and then we'll have the box score, we'll have analysis, opinions, and so much more coming up right here after the Rebirth Sports full game recap on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to April 23rd of the year 2024 when the Nashville Predators were in Vancouver to face off against the Canucks in Game 2 of their best-of-7 first-round series. Vancouver leads the series 1-0. Head coach Andrew Annette deploys his lines and defensive pairings in the following way: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Zucker, Sissons, and Beauvillier, Jankowski, Novak, Evangelista, Smith, McCarron, and Sherwood. Your defensive pairings are McDonough and Yossi, Luzon and Carrier, Stastny, and Shen. UC Saros gets the start in net. No changes from Game 1, just different alignment on the combinations. We are a minute and 14 seconds into Game 2. There's Beauvillier for the Nashville Predators breaking through first with his first goal of the playoffs, giving the Predators a 1-0 lead. It was a deflection of Forsberg's long shot. Deflection came from several feet away from the crease area, and this created a bit of an awkward situation for DeSmith, making his first start of the series in for Demko, who was announced earlier in the day injured, at least out for this game. 2 minutes now into the first period. Saros coming to the save on Lafferty. It's his first save of the game. We are 4:20 now into the first period. It's UC Saros coming with a save on Suter at the side of the net. Good scoring chances there for the Vancouver Canucks. 5:27 now of the first period. It's Sissons off to the box. 2 minutes for slashing. Our first special teams scenario of the game sees the Vancouver Canucks on the power play. An outstanding PK, though, for this Nashville Predators team, not allowing a single shot on goal. Now we go back to 5-on-5 hockey, but ever so briefly, because it's 7:42 now of the first period. The Predators are picking up another penalty, 2 minutes, bench minor for too many men on the ice. A second outstanding penalty kill that does not allow a single shot on goal, and the Predators are accomplishing this by clogging the shot lanes. Vancouver is getting plenty of zone time, plenty of possession, but they are not getting pucks through to UC Saros. Past the halfway point of the first period at 10:44, we find DeSmith coming with a save on Beauvillier's deflection. 12:03 of the first period. Now DeSmith, a save on Forsberg, gives up a long rebound right there, but no Predators in the danger area to capitalize on the situation. 14:42 of the first period. It's Juleson off the box. 2 minutes for interference. This puts the Predators on their first power play of the game. DeSmith would come up with one save on Tommy Novak, but that would be it. The Vancouver Canucks penalty kill would be quite superb in this situation. At the 18:13 mark now of the first period, it's Saros coming with a save on Lafferty at 19:16 of the first period. It is McDonough of the Nashville Predators pick up a penalty, 2 minutes for holding. The Predators now shorthanded for their third time in the first period. Pettersson gets the best look just before the end of the first period. The shot goes just outside the post. Just a little bit of a hitch in his shot. He held up for just a quarter of a second there, and that for some reason threw the timing off. His shot goes to the outside of the post. The period expires. The net was wide open for Pettersson, usually reliable in that situation, and from that area. The Predators survive the first period and come out of it with a 1-0 lead. Shots on goal, though, are not telling the story. Only 4 shots for each team. The other components of the game are telling the story. Vancouver, 20 hits in the first period alone. The Nashville Predators with 11. Highly contested hockey out there on the rink. A carryover of 1 minute 16 seconds into the second period for the Vancouver Canucks power play, and that finds UC Saros coming with a save on Quinn Hughes. That would be it. Another pretty strong penalty kill overall for this Nashville Predators team, now 3 for 3 in just over 20 minutes of gameplay. 2:36 now into the second is Juleson off to the box, 2 minutes for slashing. His second penalty of the game already, and it is DeSmith coming with a save on O'Reilly, but that would be it for the Nashville Predators, unable to get enough pucks through Vancouver Canucks penalty kill. Again, coming up very strong. At the 6:06 mark of the second period, it's DeSmith coming with a save on Forsberg. Nyquist brings some rebound jam right here. This is one of the better scoring opportunities the Predators have had in the entirety of this game. 6:29, so less than 30 seconds later, it is Philip Forsberg getting his first goal of this playoff series. He walks in from the corner. He had time, he had space, and he picked his spot, which happened to be the top shelf, to give the Nashville Predators a 2-0 lead here in Game 2 at 8:04 of the second period. It's Colton Sissons with his first goal of the playoff series. It is rebound crash on Beauvillier's long shot. This gives the Nashville Predators a 3-0 lead, and in a very short sequence of time, the Nashville Predators have seized this game at a 3-0 score. We cross over the halfway point of the game and find ourselves at 10:15, where UC Saros comes with a save on Lindholm at 14:55. Saros comes up with a save on Lafferty's breakaway. A bad turnover by the Nashville Predators leads to Lafferty getting a great scoring opportunity. Sloppy play continues after that save by Saros as the Nashville Predators unable to get the clear. They run out of gas, trapped in their own zone. That's where we find the 15:32 mark, and Zadorov picking up his first goal of the playoffs, getting Vancouver on the board. The Preds now lead 3-1 in this game in the second period, and the Preds failed to a long wrist shot here as they were completely out of gas at the end of a lengthy defensive zone shift. After the lazy, sloppy turnover by Sherwood and Luzon in the neutral zone that started the entire sequence. 16:35 of the second period. Now Saros comes with a save on Bluger at 17:36 of the second period. Zucker's off to the box. 2 minutes for slashing in the neutral zone, and this was really one of the silliest plays of the entire game and of the entire series at this point. Zucker just trailing behind the play. Instead of skating, just uses the stick and picks up a dumb penalty. That puts the Nashville Predators shorthanded yet again in this game. We find DeSmith coming coming in with a save on McCarron, shorthanded on the 2-on-1. McCarron, a great job there, just driving straight to the net. Saros then comes up with a save on Miller, and Miller would hit the post. Vancouver had a great look at it after we returned to 5-on-5 hockey. Nothing else happened in the second period. We hit the intermission with the shots on goal now at 12 apiece. The hits now Vancouver at 33 for the game through 2 periods. Nashville Predators at 21. We cross over into this third period on the clean sheet device, and we find ourselves at 41 seconds where UC Saros coming with the save on Miller, and the Vancouver Canucks are buzzing on the first shift, and they are certainly announcing that it is going to be a wild ride for this Nashville Predators team defensively. 158 of the third period. Saros save on Juleson. 208 of the third period. Saros comes over with a glove save on Mikheyev. And that was a sweet glove save right there. A big one for UC Saros. We flip over to the back of the sheet. We find ourselves at 327 of the third period. And UC Saros coming over with a save on Pius Suter at the 6:03 mark of the third period. And UC Saros coming with a save on Di Giuseppe at 7:24 of the third period. Saros coming with a save on Quinn Hughes. 7:32 Saros. A save on Bosser. And just remember and think about it like this: when there are times in between when there are shots on goal and UC Saros is making saves, the Predators are more than likely blocking shots and breaking up plays in the slot area. So we go now 2 minutes without a shot on goal, and at 9:31 we pick the action back up in the third period. And Saros is coming with a save on Zadorov off the rush, but this rush leads to a rebound off the side of the cage, which is sitting in a glorious area, and then Saros has to come with a huge save on Joshua, plus the rebound over at the post, plus the rebound with the pad stretched all the way out, and we call that the jam. An incredible sequence by UC Saros, not so much by the Nashville Predators defense, allowing a defenseman to get into the zone and cause that much mayhem right there for UC Saros. An incredible sequence, and it's a shooting gallery from this point forward. It was already a shooting gallery, but it is a shooting gallery for Vancouver, and the Preds' bodies are everywhere, all over the ice, in shot lanes, blocking shots, doing everything they can to get the puck out of the zone. Shots are going wide. Shots are being blocked. Vancouver is just unloading everything that they have. The pressure on Nashville is unending, relentless. That's a word the Predators like to use, but Vancouver is the team that is showing the relentless nature right here. Survival mode so far for this entire period. 14-11 in the third, we found Saros coming with a save on Bosser at the doorstep at 15:01. Hughes off the box 2 minutes before tripping on Philip Forsberg. Good job by Forsberg on that power play for the Predators. 0 shots on goal because the Preds just held on to the puck for strong possession to eat the clock up. And at 18:07, we find Sherwood getting the empty net goal for the Nashville Predators. He out-hustled to the loose puck, and he puts the Predators up 4-1. At 18:30, Zadorov tries to send a message to Jankowski, picks up a 2-minute penalty for roughing. Smith comes up with a save on Sissons, and the final horn goes with the Predators winning 4-1 in Game 2. The shots on goal, again, not the story in this game, as Vancouver outshoots Nashville 18-16. That's probably the lowest shot total of the entire season for a Nashville Predators game. Blocked shots, the Predators 32 in this game, Vancouver 7, and the hits, Vancouver with 47, the Predators with 30. So you can see how this game played out and without the scoring. But the Predators score the 4-1 victory is the only thing that matters. They even the series up. It is a best-of-5 headed back to Bridgestone Arena. We have so much more coming up on this one. Analysis, stats, box score, and more coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap.
Hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in. UC Saros in this game gets his second start of the series. He goes 17 out of 18, gave up 1 goal against, and this is a nice bounce-back game after Game 1. We said that if the Nashville Predators were going to find success, UC Saros had to be better than he was in Game 1, and he was better than that. That is for sure. It was an outstanding performance. You cannot talk about that performance without talking about the team in front of him and how much they assisted and how much they stepped up. And I know you want to put the storyline on and say, well, all those block shots, all those missed shots, that's the single storyline of the game. The team in front of UC Saros did help him a lot, but they could have helped him more if they could have maintained possession of the puck, gotten some more offensive zone time. You understand the equation I'm setting up here. UC Saros was incredibly strong. That is including the help that he got in front of him. I thought that he was excellent in this game. The only goal that was given up by UC Saros was at the end of a long shift where the Nashville Predators were so out of gas. They were frankly just standing around waiting for the inevitable to happen, and UC Saros was unable to bail them out in that situation. But he was tracking the puck. His edge work was good. His glove was solid, and his rebound control was also quite good in this game. And the team in front of him helped quite a bit. But we'll talk about that as a separate point here. Philip Forsberg picks up a goal and assist in this game for 2 points. One of those, his goal was the game-winning goal. 3 shots on goal in this game, and I use the word that he asserted himself more in this game. Not that he was passive in Game 1, but the Vancouver Canucks did a really good job of putting a line out there that, well, frankly, frustrated the Nashville Predators' top line, and they used their last line change, and they used the home ice advantage to great opportunity in Game 1. The Preds did a better job of getting Forsberg and O'Reilly and Nyquist away from that line, making quicker line changes and making adjustments here in this game. So that allowed Philip Forsberg to assert himself more in this game. Once he started shooting the puck, even though it was from long range, good things started happening for this Predators team, and you can't not take a second and appreciate the game-winning goal itself. Given time, given space, a 40-plus goal scorer 2 times in his career and an otherworldly talent like Philip Forsberg allowed to just walk in on the net, he is going to score on virtually every goaltender in the NHL when given that much time, that much space, and can pick the shot that he wants. Yes, you can talk about the hands, you can talk about the release, you can talk about all of those things, but Philip Forsberg simply can pick whatever spot that he wants to shoot, especially when no one is moving in to check on him. Philip Forsberg was outstanding in this game in asserting himself more. I look forward to that being an even bigger part of the game at Bridgestone Arena in Game 3. Beauvillier was brought here at the trade deadline just because of his playoff experience under Barry Trotz, and it is starting to pay off now. A goal and an assist in this game equals 2 points, 4 shots on goal. The first goal of the game went to Beauvillier. It was a deflection on Forsberg's shot. What a weird deflection it was, but hey, the weird ones are the ones that go in sometimes. It was the first goal of the game. It set a tone, and it's exactly why he was brought here, for his playoff experience, for his veteran ability to contribute in important moments and important games. And Beauvillier stepped up big time in Game 2. Again, a goal, an assist, 4 shots on net, and only 14:26 in total time on ice. I thought Beauvillier was very, very noticeable out there with Zucker and Sissons. Also, Colton Sissons picked up a goal, so let's talk about Colton Sissons. Also had 4 block shots, 2 hits, 17:52 in total time on ice. He brings the jam, solid veteran performance every time he's out there on the ice. And when this Nashville Predators franchise and their all-time story is told, Colton Sissons will probably be described as one of the most reliable and consistent players and performers in the team's history. Colton Sissons is truly an awesome player, game in and game out, and works incredibly hard and competes incredibly hard and has been rewarded with some big-time goals in his career in the playoffs. He picks up a goal in this one as well as helping out with the team effort of blocking shots, with 4 of them in total. Sherwood gets the empty net goal, but it wasn't as easy as that. He also delivered 5 hits in his 11:20 in total time on ice. The hustle to outwork the Vancouver Canucks, get to that sharp angle, low, wide open net, empty net goal, shot opportunity. It was not as easy as it sounded, but Sherwood made it happen, and he outworked the Vancouver Canucks to close this game out and finish it. I mean, the Vancouver Canucks were buzzing the entire third period. They're buzzing the entire game. They're buzzing the entire third period, and Sherwood finally gets a shot on net for the Nashville Predators and happens to go in, and happens to go into the empty net to make it 4-1, which of course would be your final score. And while we have talked about some outstanding outstanding individual performances in this game, from the goaltending all the way through the forward combinations. No one can talk about this game without talking about the 30 block shots by the team and the Nashville Predators penalty kill, going 4 for 4. Almost 3 for 3 in the first period. It was carryover into the second period. So in the first 21 and a half minutes of the game, of the Predators penalty kill, was 3 for 3. That's when the game was still very much in doubt. It was a one-goal game at that point in time. Every single player contributed in the defensive, and the Predators were leaking, taking on water. It started on the opening shift of the game, and it continued throughout the entirety of the game all the way up till the very end. Every Nashville Predators player out there sacrificed the body, and they played a harder game and competed harder than perhaps they were anticipating having to do so, but they strapped in and held on for this one and survived. And you got to give Alex Carrier a little bit of conversation here, a little bit of separate mention as well. 6 block shots in this game. Alex Carrier had an awful game 1 of this series. There were people speculating that he may be scratched in game 2 in favor of Dante Fabro. Carrier gets the opportunity to get back out there, redeem his game 1 performance. It absolutely does that, sacrificing the body. He also took some really big hits in this game and has taken a number of big hits already. All of the Predators defensemen are getting softened up out there by this Vancouver Canucks team. It's part of the long-term strategy of a 7-game series. You hit the defense as much and as often as possible to soften them up so that later on in the series they either get a little bit more timid or they start to, frankly, get a little bit banged up, a little bit sore, and they start to run out of the energy to do the things that they need to do to be successful in a game. So for the Nashville Predators, every player probably comes out of this thing with an ice bag on them at some point on the plane trip home, probably at least a bruise for every single player, but that is part of the success and the process of the playoffs. It takes a whole hell of a lot of team effort and sacrifice to win in the playoffs, and that is exactly what the Nashville Predators put on display this entire game. And 30 block shots on that penalty kill, going 4 for 4 with every player on the roster contributing. It was outstanding to see. We'll talk about who had how many block shots when we get to the box score coming up here after the break. That's going to do it for the analysis opinion portion of Game 2. Let's get to the good, cold, hard numbers known as the box score. Let's close this thing out and let's get set. Game 3, Bridgestone Arena, in what is now a best-of-5 first-round series, Nashville Predators, Vancouver Canucks.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Welcome back in Renegades of Puck podcast. When it comes to the box score, the good, cold, hard numbers, as we like to call them. Let's talk about the Vancouver Canucks side of things first. Canucks score only 1 goal in this game. It was by Zadorov. He has been one of the most noticeable players in the first 2 games of this series for the Vancouver Canucks, whether it is his physical play or his carrying the puck end to end. That was kind of surprising. Scoring a goal, setting up goals. He's been all over the place out there. Nobody really thought Zadorov would be the second leading scorer on the Vancouver Canucks through 2 games in this series, but he has been highly noticeable, and while he can be a bit of a pest at times for the physical nature of the line that he walks, you got to give him credit for the performance he's put up through these first 2 games. The assists in this game went to Di Giuseppe and Ian Cole, and that's going to do it for the scoring for the Vancouver Canucks. They only had 1 goal in the game. Shots on goal was also a very, very light number, ends up being only 20 shots on goal total, and it was 3 for Miller, 3 for Quinn Hughes, 2 for Zadorov in this game. When it comes to block shots, nobody on Vancouver had more than 1 when it comes to hits. This is a category where you see a lot of crooked numbers. Joshua not only leading the team in scoring, but setting the pace physically. 8 hits in this game, 6 hits for Di Giuseppe, that fourth line causing a bit of mayhem for this Predators team in the first 2 games. Roenick at 5 hits, and Juleson, making an appearance in this game for Myers, comes away with 5 hits overall. When it comes to time on ice leaders for the Vancouver Canucks, you'll see quite a bit of variance right here. The top time on ice leader, 22-19, JT Miller amongst the forwards, Bossert 22-18, and Pettersson 20-41. But the low end, the low cap for the Vancouver Canucks, you see Hoglander only at 833. You see DiGiuseppe at 942. So the Vancouver Canucks are not spreading out their ice time as much as perhaps they need to over the course of a long-term 7-game series. But they also have an extra day off this week before Game 3. So that is a limited concern. On the defensive side of things, it was, of course, Quinn Hughes leading the way, and it seems like he never leaves the ice, but he was actually out there less than half the game, 27-29 in total time on ice. That led the Vancouver Canucks, 22-32 for Roenick out there on the blue line. DeSmith in net, making his first start of the series, 12 of 15, 3 goals against, an in-game save percentage of 800, 7 even strength saves, 4 power play saves, 1 short-handed saves. When it comes to the Nashville Predators box score, Beauvillier scored a goal, Forsberg scored a goal, Sherwood scored an empty net goal, and Sissons also scored a goal in this game for 4 total goals, all by the forwards. The assists of Beauvillier and Forsberg have an assist. Nyquist also adds an assist, and Zucker adds an assist in this game. No goals, no assists from the Nashville Predators defense. As a matter of fact, not a single shot on goal from the Nashville Predators defense either. They were rather tied up in this game. 4 shots on goal for Beauvillier led the Nashville Predators, 3 for Forsberg, 2 for Colton Sissons. When it comes to block shots, it was Carrier with 6 leading the way. McDonough had 4 in this game. Colton Sissons also chips in with 4 blocked shots. When it comes to the physical component of things for the Nashville Predators, Luzon, no surprise to see him up there with a big old crooked number 7. This is the type of environment, the type of game he absolutely loves being a part of, and some of the hits out there are just, they're some of the biggest hits we've seen all season long, and they're coming rapid fire in succession here from shift after shift after shift during the entirety of the game. Really quite impressive to see just how much the physical component has escalated. And this was a Preds team that was already quite physical during the regular season. Sherwood's got 5 hits in this game, second on the Preds. Forsberg chipped in with 3. Zucker had 3, and also Luke Shen with 3. And again, Shen, the type of environment he really seems to enjoy out there. When it comes to time on ice leaders for the Nashville Predators, a little bit different looking than it was for the Vancouver Canucks, a little bit more even as far as the 4 lines go. 19:03 is your time on ice leader amongst forwards of Ryan O'Reilly. 18:35 for Forsberg. 17:52 for Colton. This is the low end for the Nashville Predators in time on ice is Tommy Novak at 11:37, Luke Evangelista at 12:12, and Zucker at 12:09. When it comes to the time on ice leaders amongst the defense, it was, of course, Ryan McDonough leading the way, 24-27. Head coach Andrew Burnett really relying on the veteran blue liner out there to do as much as he possibly can to help the Preds get the victory. Yossi at 23-36, and then Carrier at 20-22 total time on ice. When it comes to special teams, the Nashville Predators power play was 0 for 4 in this game, and a whole lot of players ended up with plus 3 minutes on the power play. Beauvillier, Evangelista, Zucker, Novak, Nyquist, O'Reilly, Sissons, but not a single goal from that entire group. 4-12 for the captain, Romeo out there on the blue line. 3-13 for Ryan McDonough. When it comes to the penalty kill, these time on ice leaders deserve a little bit more time because they went 4 for 4 perfect in this game, especially the amount of workload that they had to put up with in the first period. Cole Smith, 5-14 total time on ice. He skated 15:56 for the game. 5:14 of that was shorthanded, so a third of his ice time was skated shorthanded, and very, very successful at that. 3:08 for McCarron, 3:06 for Colton Sissons on the defensive side of things. 4:56 for Carrier shorthanded, and 4:04 for Luzon. 3:52 for Ryan McDonough. McDonough was really out there every shift he could possibly be in this game. And it comes to in net, UC Saros, 17 out of 18, 1 goal against, an in-game save percentage of 944, 13 even strength saves, 3 power play saves, 1 short-handed saves, and he was actually quite good despite the low amount of workload in this game. When it comes to some other things falling out of the box score, we mentioned the special teams right there. The power play, again, 0 for 4, the PK 4 for 4, and it was the face-off winning percentage. Preds were at 42, so they took a dip from game 1 to game 2. 30 block shots, Herculean effort, but not something you can look to replicate and duplicate if you look for long-term success. Even in one round, that is something that you probably cannot continue executing at that level. 31 hits, I expect the physical component to even step up a little bit more once we go into Game 3, now that the series is tied at 1 apiece. 5 takeaways for the Preds, 3 giveaways. Well, frankly, the Predators had a struggle to possess the puck. They had a struggle to gain the puck at any time. Vancouver seemed to possess and control the puck throughout the majority of this game, so the Predators really couldn't be reckless or careless with something which they honestly had struggle to possess. That's going to do it for the box score. Let's go ahead and wrap up this show. Episode number 907, Game 2 is complete now. Best of 5. Looking ahead for the Predators, just final thoughts on Game 2. It's survival mode, and it won't win a series, and it certainly won't win a Stanley Cup, but it will win a critical road game early in the series to get the Nashville Predators to split, get their skates under them, get their confidence. This was a Preds team that was 0-4 against the Vancouver Canucks this season, and frankly, each of those games was wash, rinse, repeat for the Vancouver Canucks. It took to the 5th opportunity, and it took the Preds to strap into that roller coaster with what felt like no safety rail and no safety precautions at all. And they just threw themselves in front of pucks like Secret Service agents diving to protect lives. The Nashville Predators had a full team commitment to survival mode, and it worked in Game 2. Will it win the series? No. But it helped even the series at a critical moment when the Nashville Predators had struggled to find any way to beat this Vancouver Canucks team this year. A 3-goal win on the road in the playoffs to even the series at 1-1, it sounds a lot better than it actually was. This was a hang-on for dear hockey life 60 minutes, but the Nashville Predators were able to hang on for all 60 of those minutes, and now they'll gain an extra day rest before opening up a brand new series at Bridgestone Arena on Friday night in front of their home crowd. Seize the opportunity in Game 3. Get ahead in the series when it's high expectations for Vancouver versus no expectations for Nashville. Right now, you're starting to get into the psyche of the Vancouver Canucks. An injured starting goaltender, thoughts start to creep in. Losing Game 2 on home ice, the thoughts start to creep in. And the same thing for the Nashville Predators. The thoughts of confidence start to gain momentum in the heads of the entire team. They can beat the Vancouver Canucks. They can win in the playoffs. And when you look at who has been added to the roster just this season, Beauvillier, Zucker, Nyquist, O'Reilly, those players are all helping out through 2 games. Beauvillier, 2 points, second on the team in scoring. Zucker, 2 points, tied with Beauvillier. This is not the performances that the Predators were getting from these players post-trade deadline to the playoffs, but this is the reason they were brought here. Forsberg asserting himself, Saros better, the special teams for the Nashville Predators, the penalty kill has been exceptional, the power play could use some work, and the captain Roman Josi has yet to truly make his debut in the series. It's been all about Quinn Hughes through the first 2 games, 2 points, 2 games. He's largely controlled the possession for the Vancouver Canucks and driven that team, as he's done all season long. We've yet to see that from Roman Josi. Perhaps games 3 and 4 on home ice, where the Predators get the last change and can separate Josi away from some of the more frustrating elements of the Vancouver Canucks roster, just like they're going to be able to do with Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist. I expect the Nashville Predators to step up and seize this opportunity. You can't hang on for dear hockey life in a 7-game series and hope to win the whole thing, but you can do exactly what the Predators do. You could do that at one strategic moment to win an important game on the road and take home ice advantage away from a division-winning team that has the highest of high expectations. That could do it for Operation number 907. Game 3 on Friday night. Cannot wait. The Renegades of Puck Hockey Club also opens up a brand new season on Thursday night. So we've got so much more to talk about coming up on episode 908. Can't wait to be back in the trenches and back in the bunker with each and every one of you. Stick Taps, love, and respect to all of my great Renegades out there. We appreciate your viewership. We appreciate your time. And most importantly, we appreciate you. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier.